My name is Jenny, and I'm a wife and mom raising 2 kids. But I used to live a more glamorous life as a TV reporter. I was on the nightly news interviewing pop stars and politicians. So when I said goodbye to TV and hello to motherhood, I suddenly discovered what we moms are up against. We live in a world that tells us to be rich and famous, thin and successful. You know, almost nobody says, "Oh, hey, you're a mom? That's fabulous." But you are fabulous, and I'm here to tell you why.
It's the Channel Mom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
Welcome back to the Channel Mom Show, where we are celebrating you on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1510, FM 93.7. I am your host, Jenny Dean Schmidt, and we are back with Samantha, parent Walravens, the author of Torn, of a really worthwhile book. She has really drawn together some varying opinions. And Samantha, I want to do you the favor of telling you there were some women that I really appreciated what they had to say. One of them was Sarah Debbie Gutfriend, is that how we say it?
Yeah, Gutfriend.
Gutfriend. And she talked about her Ivy League education, but she realized that she can use her same mind that she used in getting her education to get an A in organic chemistry to manage her household, as though it's a Fortune 500 company, or to master listening to her child really well. And then you also talked about Braca, who talked about being, graduating from Harvard and on her path to becoming a doctor, but then she realized that she could apply herself to create masterpieces greater than Rembrandt to guide her young children into being great men and women. And so I do want Mom to remember that there's that beautiful thing out there on the internet about building cathedrals, that nobody sees you and nobody applauds you while you're doing it. But when it's done, it's a beautiful work of art. And that's what women are doing with children when they do it well, right?
Exactly. And it's hard sometimes to see beyond the dirty diapers and the Cheerios all over the floor. That, what you're doing is such an important task, such an important job. There's nothing more important than being a mother and forming these little beings into, happy and well-adjusted adults. And as my kids get older, my eldest now is 13, and I see what a wonderful human being he is, and the 3 other ones are just growing. They're just wonderful. I really feel validated as a mother, but sometimes when you're in the thick of the Pampers and the poopy diapers and the screaming babies, it's hard to see the results of your efforts.
Sure. Although I think I felt some of the reverse. I was somebody who liked the cute stage, and I'm really struggling now with the preteen stage, and partly because it just makes me sad. I don't want them to grow up and go away. But let's talk really quickly. We've got a couple questions left, one from me and one from Shelley. Liberation, feminization, education, free media, where you get exposed to all kinds of things. What has that done to women's view of motherhood, do you think?
Yeah, I remember the Anjali perfume commercials. Remember that in the 70s? I mean, I was a little girl, but I remember distinctly seeing that woman, she can bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan, and never let him forget he's a man. I'm a woman. Mm-hmm. And we were raised with that to, believe we can bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan. Of course, that woman didn't have children, I'm assuming, because I don't know how the heck she could look that great.
Exactly. And
work and come home and cook dinner for her husband, and, there were no kids in the picture. But, the meaning has definitely changed the way that we view motherhood, and the reality today is that the stay-at-home mom model, the mother who stays home and the dad who goes off to work, is no longer. That's not the reality. That 4 out of 5 families today have both parents working, and I think the number is 71% of mothers with kids under 18 are working moms. So not only has the media shifted the way that we view women and motherhood, but the reality is that most women today are working.
Right. But strangely, I did look it up again last night. Only between 27 and 29% of people actually have their bachelor's degrees. So some of these women that were educated may not represent all of the working women in this book. They do tend to sway a little bit more educated. Now, Shelley has a question for you. I know go ahead, Shell.
So my question is, how did these women resolve this conflict, whether they chose to work or stay at home or work part-time, or did they resolve it in general?
Well, you have to read the book to see how they resolve it. They really each resolve it in their own individual ways, and the women really look at the needs of their families and their children and their careers and try to make the best decision for their families. Quite a few of the women, I have to say, the ones who were, especially in the legal profession, the women who wrote for me who were lawyers, many of them had a really hard time working the law firm hours and switched careers, reinvented themselves essentially, and started a different career that gave them more flexibility. And as I go around the country and speak about this book, I'm speaking at law firms and banks and insurance companies, big corporations. They're really making an effort to try to retain women, because the big companies are losing women because they can't fit into that, not even 9 to 5. It's like 8 to 6 at least workplace schedule. So yeah, you have to read that. But women, they're all making different choices, and they're all kind of figuring out a way to make it work within their families.
Yeah, and that's one takeaway. We've got about a minute left, Samantha, but what did you take away? I mean, I took away that they are trying. They're trying to work this thing out to the best of their ability to satisfy everyone. What did you bring away from
I mean, I would say the take home for me, and I wrote this book because I felt so alone and unsupported, and by hearing the stories of other women, I felt comforted. I knew I wasn't alone in my struggle, and by sharing these stories, I feel like I'm bringing comfort to women around the country. They're saying, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one who was struggling, and I can't figure it out. The message is stop judging and start supporting each other. We are a sisterhood. We need to be there for one another, especially at this time in our lives and our careers and as mothers. We need to be there for each other. So stop judging each other. Stop judging yourselves. Yeah. We're all doing the best we can do. There's no right or wrong way to do motherhood. Be there for one another.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, I'm a little hard on people sometimes, but I do agree with you that in the end it comes back to that. I just read an article this morning that moms have a hard time making friends because of all that judgment and competition, Mm-hmm. Hey, please tell people, the book is Torn. Please tell people how they can order it and get a hold of it.
You can go right on Amazon.com and have it delivered in 1 or 2 days. And you can ask your local bookstore. It's carried by a lot of local independent bookstores around the nation.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you. It was wonderful to have you on the show, Samantha.
Thanks for having me, Jenny.
And I wish you well with your 4 babies.
I appreciate it.
Okay, take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All righty, Samantha Parent Walravens, the author of Torn. It was a very interesting read. It really just gets all your opinions flying out. At least it did for me, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It makes you rethink your own motherhood. All righty, I'm excited about our guest next week, Shelley. Sheila Walsh, author, singer, speaker, and of course, mother. She's known around the country for appearances at Women of Faith. Yeah, around the world. Her appearances at Women of Faith conferences. She's got incredible stories about mental illness, fear, exhaustion. Really, really real with us. So Sheila shares a miraculous vision as well. So please join us next week for Sheila, and have a great week. God bless you, moms.